Live stream. My name is Hans. I'm simply a dude on the internet. And we're going to look at some PulseChain charts today. If there are coins that you want me to take a look at, you can throw them in the chat and hopefully I can get to them all. Okay. We're on the... I'm not going to look at... Maybe let's quickly take a look at what the bubbles are saying and what BTC is doing. Incentive token. I've got some of that. So Bitcoin actually selling off here a percentage point. Was this just happened? Just remove everything here. So I don't know if that is what caused the small pullback that just happened here on PLS. This is 4 hourly. Let's look at the daily on BTC. Nothing has changed unless we start breaking above or below these areas, all of these support levels. Don't know what PLS is going to do if we start selling off here. Most of crypto generally tends to sell off, right? When BTC dumps. Brett says PTGC. What's up, Kubi? Xcoiner. Kubi wants us to take a look at Teddy. Hexicon Hill, what's up? But yeah, we'll look at UpX, Zeph, PLS Puppy. So all of the altcoins on PulseChain, because remember we look at these things valued against PLS because we want more PLS. So most of them will be taking significant punishment against PLS. But that's what we want these things to do. We want them to get nice and cheap against PLS so we can get them for bargain prices and sell them into into PLS if and when we are in profits. So we're stacking PLS, right? So I've got all the fib levels up here. Let's just remove those that are not significant now. So the area that we're in now, this is the 38.2 and the 50%. This is generally the first area where you will see price action either find resistance or maybe find support at that level if it blasts through. But this is called the dump chaser zone, and obviously in reverse, if something is pumping, it's the pump chaser zone. So this is the initial area where people will start taking positions. They'll risk it to the 50%. That's where they'll have their stop loss. Yeah, so we found resistance on it a little bit, and let's see what happens here. Hopefully we can blast through here, defeat the bears that are starting to step in here. I mean, we can probably look at some indicators. All of them are absolutely insane, right? But it tries to form bearish divergence, and every time it just invalidates those bearish divergences, and there's no bearish divergences on this chart as it stands here. As price is going higher, and you can see that clearly on the price chart, and you can see the RSI, which is the momentum indicator, shows the same thing, right? Higher highs, so no bearish divergences there, which is good to see. We can look on shorter time frames, maybe the 12 hourly. So these have also been invalidated as they're going higher. Let's look at all the time frames. I'll go through them quickly. So on the 8 hourly, there is some bearish divergences here as indicators are going lower as the price continues to climb higher. And then the 4 hourly, it has the same, just a little bit more stronger on the shorter time frames. But on the daily and the 3-day, nothing on the 3-day, but very high, right? We were in cheap prices, and these aren't cheap prices anymore. And then the weekly RSI has a lot more room to the upside. I remember tweeting this when it first printed. like down here. It was coincidentally the bottom as well. So there's a cool tweet of me calling this bottom here. Not technically calling it, but just printing the RSI very low. And from there we're higher. We haven't gotten to the overbought areas just yet on the weekly. So there's definitely more to go on the weekly and on the daily. But the shorter term time frames are starting to look a little bit exhausted. But it can go on for a very long time. This is a very powerful move. Right, and you should respect that. Either way, there's nothing really to tell you just yet that there's a short setup here. Like this is, you have low, right? So we have these fib levels. But you need 3 reasons to take a trade. You need indicator confirmation, or so bearish divergences down there, and you need market structure as well. So you would have to see an M on the chart, which is just a way of saying lower highs. So a low will come in lower there. This is structure. This is your 3rd reason to take a trade. There's nothing here to give you an edge. And in fact, trying to get in front of something like this, that if you look left, there wasn't really any price action that happened here. We moved through it relatively quickly if you compare it to maybe these price ranges down here, which we spent months in. So you're going to move pretty quickly through these as well. But corrections can be healthy. It's really going to be interesting to see where this thing corrects to. But the OA, I mean, or not the OA, like we have this kind of price action on Hex, but I really don't want to compare us to that, where there's this massive gap in the chart where the Godwell stepped in. Where the market never came back to retest these levels, really. I mean, from here. So there's this whole gap here where the other side of price action never happened. The red candles never happened here. The last red candles were there. And the market doesn't really like inefficiencies like that, but that's very, very bullish to talk like that. Simply what I'm trying to say is that eventually there needs to be red candles here to fill in these massive quick moves, right? Like I don't know where this happens, right? It can still go higher, and we can just readjust the fib tool to wherever that happens. Like it can even go until the 78.6 level lines up with the breakout level, like something like that. That's almost exactly at the top. If we go that high, we're most likely going to come down and retest these breakout levels. So I would rather see a correction earlier than later, right? So this still kind of, it won't feel great, but it still looks all right. And the breakout level is lining up with the 78.6 level perfectly. I know people don't want to talk about pullbacks now when everything's rallying like this, so we'll just go on to other stuff. EX and PLSX. Can you chart Beit? Can we check out the loan? Okay, let's go through the ratios quickly, and then we'll get to you guys' charts. So PLSX is only now coming into this dump chaser zone. Just this 38. So we are now getting into this area. Really didn't act as any resistance, just bashed through it, whereas PLS spent a little bit of time there. So we can, if we look at the ratios, we can see that PLS is still in front of this rally, as it's significantly higher. Not really significantly. PLSX has kind of now caught up with this massive rally here. Okay, so let's go to the ratios. It will tell us a much more clearer picture. Wow, can you believe it? We are in the short location of the ratio. This is where some short traders will take a position. They'll risk it up all the way to 0.44. That's where their stop loss will be. Some people will blindly just buy this level. Okay. This is not helpful as it's gone higher. Yeah, okay, so we're in a... This is obviously not an area to be taking longs, to be selling your PLS into PLSX. Some people, those that bought these lows, are probably taking some profits in here because they're not in the double just yet. But either way, this is performing good. As we can see with the ratio, PLSX has been outperforming PLS strongly. And this is beautiful market structure. We've got a beautiful W here. You can just see it clear as day. It's even going to show up on the weekly. It's a perfect double bottom, right? And not only that, it has broken out. Clear, massive strength there. And with a base that you built there, this looks like it wants to go way, way higher, right? And we can actually do extensions on this from the bottom to the top. So in the parking garage, this is the first profit-taking area. If you break out of this range, if we make an all-time high on the ratio, this is your first target. It's literally just below. It's just below parity, and that's your first target. There's more targets up here. Imagine that. Imagine. And this, if I put this on the log chart, it's gonna look very, very reasonable. Look at that. Very, very good market structure there. It's textbook W with higher lows and a higher high, and off you go. Okay, taking a lot of time. EHEX ratio versus PLS getting wrecked. These are new lows. We still have these lows back here. But if you're a ratio trader, this is where you should be interested. We've got strong bullish divergences on this chart here. As we can see, momentum is still higher. Right, it's going higher. You can see the angle is positive there. Yet our price action is much, much lower. So this is strong bullish divergence. Let's look at the on-balance volume. This is mostly not selling. It's fallen off a cliff here. RSI is slow enough either way. I mean, we've even got bullish divergence from back here. Is it lower? Yes, all the way from back here. So this is definitely not where a granny would be selling. She'd be looking to buy some here. There's no structure formed just yet. And strong bullish divergence even on the weekly chart or on the 3-day chart here. 41. So strong bullish divergence is there on the weekly as well. I mean, I showed you guys on this channel the ratio, the bullish divergence that happened on this ratio of PLSX. And look where we are currently at, right? Look on the daily here. And there's tweets of this. Like there's the small bullish divergence that formed on the PLS and PLSX ratio. As price is lower, indicator is higher. Move sideways. When you break the W, it's off to the races. Take off the log chart. So this is now formed here on PLS or on the Hex ratio, the EHEX ratio. Strong bullish divergence. Now it obviously sucks to sell some of your PLS for EHEX here. But that's the same feeling you probably had buying PLS at 3,000, 4 zeros and 3,000. So yeah, You need to know what you're doing. Obviously, you're not risking your whole portfolio. You're risking a very small percentage, or the granny, not you specifically. Yeah, this is pure capitulation over here now. The two hex ratios will be interesting to see. So yeah, EX is cheaper versus Ethereum on PulseChain. So EX is cheaper against Ethereum. Oh, excuse me, guys. EX is cheaper versus PHEX here. Inside the reload zone, let's look at some indicators. See if there's a reversal imminent. Okay, so it's still higher. If this makes a new low here, we will have bullish divergence. So that would be enough for a reversal. And we've still got the 786 level to support us there. So EX is a buy here pretty soon versus PX once it closes below candle there. Let's look at the ratio of PLS to PulseChain X. I mean, we've been talking about this ratio for a very long time. It spent a lot of time up here. Told people it's expensive here, expensive. Now, only now, it's in the reload zone. This is where we can swap some PLS for Hex in this green box. Expect it to go lower, right? Strong bullish divergences, I mean, all the way from back here as the indicator is going higher while the price is going lower. And then technically we need to wait for market structure. We need to wait for lows to be defended and a higher high to be formed. Okay, so PHEX is also cheaper versus PLS. The incentive token absolutely going parabolic. Could you trade this? Could you make money on this? Yes, absolutely. I mean, it rallied off its lows at 45 cents. And let's just appreciate the perfect market structure that was formed here. You've got a low, you make a high, you defend your low, and you make a higher high. That's my favorite symbol, right? And off you go. We're at $2 here. There's no bearish divergences on the daily chart, as price is going higher and the indicator is going higher, making higher highs. 3-day chart, it's very high here. Weekly, the weekly hasn't even started yet. It's still down here. I mean, so the upside potential, I thought this was a meme, but to see it move up here, yeah. And once again, you can see the perfect W there on the weekly. You can look at resistance levels. And you've got a lot of room to move, even to your first retracement level. All right. All the way to $19. That's your first fib level. People love stuff that has green candles. That's like almost a 6x from where we're currently at. Let's look at Iosa. Blasting off versus PLS. Kind of rolling over here, right? This is the daily chart. You can see the bearish divergences. This has already been confirmed, and you can just see this RSI going lower as price action is also making lower highs. Lower lows and lower highs. This is a downtrend, right? Value for Iosa versus PLS is, yeah, definitely back here at the 88.6 level. I'll start getting some at the 88.6 level, which is 548 PLS per Iosa. Hedron, suffering a bit under the pressure here, trying to break out. Like same with EHEX, I mean EX is not even close to this breakout level yet. Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. starting to get back into value here for Hedron versus PLS. So I can't fault the granny for getting some here, for selling some PLS to get some Hedron. But not a lot. I think we've gone through all of the important ones. Kick on PulseChain versus its USD pair. We are pretty much just off the all-time highs. 4% of the all-time highs versus USD. Very happy about this. I think this has proven to the market. Yeah, this is its third all-time high. This is one of the first meme coins that was launched on PulseChain, right? So yeah, you can see the massive W here, right? It's going to be interesting to see how it performs in the future. Okay, to be fair, let's look at the PulseChain ratio. And what is good here is it's holding its level, right? It's not bleeding out versus PLS, it's just holding on. And with Hart's law, this, while it just keeps its value versus PLS here, versus its PLS ratio, it gets to move up as the price of the coin that it is paired with, in this case PLS, goes up in value, right? So we gain some USD value there, as it is denominated against PLS. So this breakout level, it's just been finding resistance at this level, and once it closes above there, this can also break out, and we can see how the USD value performs then. Granny is much cheaper than Kick is. It is still down from its all-time highs, 70%. Although it's built very, very good market structure. You can see the picture perfect W there with higher lows. Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. Yeah, just moving along here, you can see the rounding bottom. The RSI is incredibly cheap. This has been punished incredibly hard. But there's no reason why this wouldn't perform well, just like Kick would. Just needs to get rid of these bottom sellers, the unappreciated. Okay, that's that. Let's go through your coins. The alien currency, the Grace currency, up 9%, so struggling against PLS. It's at all-time highs here. That's bearish divergence on the daily, which is bearish. The PLS ratio, that is an M on your chart. And that's the market smiling at you, which tells you it wants to take your money. The RSI is still high. You've got drawn in this kind of picture that we have there. Maybe it gives you another chance at the 61.8. It looks like it is going to give you a chance to enter. Maybe I would get some. Duck. Is that Louis the Duck? Yeah, I mean, this is done thousands percentage, right? So, you can't chase it here. No, it might just mean that I missed this thing, like I've missed many other coins, but that's fine. I've gotten lots of good profits with other coins, right? So this is a double top here. If you really like a duck, wait for... The granny can only get it once it comes inside. Once it gets inside of the reload zone, which is the area down here. Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. Looks worse here, right? Because it's going down versus USD. I can only get it in these areas down here. It's given you one chance already. But beware, if this starts closing candles below this level, you're going to see much lower levels. Large liquidity. Let's look at some of the top traders here. So this guy has made 6K. It's not like astronomical, but you could be sending it from other wallets. Like all of these don't show any buys. Okay. Duck, either way, to summarize, it's too high. I can't get it here. I need to wait for lower prices. Teddy. So let's look at Teddy. 14% versus USD, so taking punishment here. Okay, what can we see here? This is versus PLS, right? You can see what I've drawn in here, what you want to see happen. But this level that's marked here is too obvious, right? You can see how it acted as resistance once, twice, 3, 4, and the 5th time it broke out. Markets like to retest breakout levels. So that's where I'll be getting Teddy. I bought some here, but I sold a lot on the way up because I bought these levels, posted it publicly on Twitter. Not the entry, obviously, that's for the Telegram group. So if you want to join the Telegram, you can join through the links in the description down below, either through the ebook or Patreon. You can get half price for the ebook if you want to pay in crypto. So yeah, we're going to come down and retest this level. I'll be getting some there. Sold a lot on the way up. I've got 3 positions in this coin. I bought a car down here. I sold a car up here, and I'm just going to rebuy it down here. Not rebuy it, add another one is probably the correct vernacular. Okay, it's also the 78.6 level. And pretty sure if I do, I think I've done this volume analysis, it's even lower than that, this area down here. If you're going to catch the falling knife here, be prepared to have more dry powder to buy the level down there. This will set up beautiful bullish divergences as the price is still higher than these areas down here. It's fallen below this one here now. So yeah, it's good correction here. And I'll be buying these lows again, just like I bought these down here. So yeah, keep on selling. Let's look at UpX for Hexicon Hill. 15% on the day. Look at it versus its ratio. It's probably getting punished, right? I think I should be buying here. Or I already bought the 78.6 level. I think my next buy is the 88.6 level, which is 1.87 PLS per UpX. The RSI has come down nicely. So yeah, this is what we've been waiting for, like for all of these altcoins to do their pullbacks here. And it has. The PLS strength is absolutely destroying these PLS ratios. That's the good thing about KCK, is it's holding its level. It wants to make that all-time high. And up. This is probably close to the 78.6 level. That's not the right button. Here we go. Yeah, not yet at its 78.6 level. I've bought some here, and I want to get a little bit more here. And if it goes lower, I'll get some more down there. Bullish divergence is here. Price is going lower, indicators going higher. So some strength coming in here. It might just not give me the 78.6 level, which would be sad. Even if I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on it, because it might just happen while you're not watching. Zip. PLS puppy. 4 months old. PLS pop. Funny that I've never heard of this. Never charted it before. Very good market structure here. You can see the higher lows, and when it breaks this higher high, affected out once, came down, off it goes. Very, very cheap versus PLS here. But a little bit expensive on the shorter term time frames, and we'll look at that here. And you can see the confluence here, all of these levels here. And dude, I'm adding this to my watch list because I want this here. So give it to me there. Some of you will look at these charts and be like, what the hell is this guy doing? This is beautiful to me. Hans, can we look at EX and PLSX? All these exotic ratios. Let's look at them. This is really the most liquidity there is. Okay. Let's look at the ratio between the two. New lows here. Getting absolutely wrecked. Let's invert the pair. This is going to be a breakout. Yeah, now how would we want to take a look at this? Obviously, swapping your Hex for PLSX here is not a great idea. See the confluence here. It's most likely going to come back to these levels, but it looks like it wants to go a little bit higher here. Let's pull up some indicators here. Yeah, very high on the RSI, although there's no bearish doves yet formed. It's probably going to do something like that. And we can invert the pair again, because this is generally how I look at these things. I mean, these are new lows, so the RSI is not even really oversold just yet. This wants to go lower still. No bearish divergence. Not even on the 4 hourly. Damn. Can't go into the minuses. So this wants to go a little bit lower. Can wait for a W. It's probably the best thing to do is to wait for when it bottoms out. Maybe it forms some bullish divergences. Only then will I swap some PLSX for Hex. The safest thing to do is to just wait for a higher low, because you could have been buying this ratio all the way down. Wait. EX and Inc. we've looked at them. I think the EHEX and PLSX ratio might be going to 101. Yeah. Yeah, it does actually look like it wants to go down there. Can you chart a beetroot? Yes, I got the beat up here. We just need to find it. This list is getting huge now. It's no use looking at it now versus PLS. Still going down here. You're starting to form some bullish divergences here. The RSI is very low. It's never been this low. So, bullish divergences there, even on the short term. So you've got location, you've got indicator confirmation. Now you need market structure. Now you need a higher low to be formed here. So these are two new lows. So you still need to see a small rally, and then your lows to be defended and a higher high. And that's your indication to go along. Wherever this comes in, I don't know where this happens. it's very important that Beetroot defends these lows. Okay, that's probably the most important thing. So it's still got more room to go before it loses that structure. Very low on the indicators, getting absolutely punished versus its PLS ratio. And this just shows us once again why it's important to look at the PLS ratio. Otherwise, it would have been better to just hold PLS, right? As it outperforms pretty much everything. Wait, the chart looks cheap. Wait, I've actually gotten some weight recently. Good to see that it's up significantly versus USD, which means it's probably holding its value here. Strong bullish divergences. I mean, it's more than 78% down from the highs. It's got bullish divergences on the short term here as the price action is lower, yet our indicators are higher. If you hear snoring, it's my Boston Terrier. So most of the volume was traded at the 88.6 level. So I can't fault the granny if she wanted to get some here. We don't have market structure yet, which means we don't have a W yet, right? Or a double bottom or a triple bottom, whatever. But you need those higher lows. So you're technically catching a falling knife here because that's a V bottom. So you would have to split your buys so you can buy more when it goes lower. Preferably the same amount that you're going to buy if it goes lower. There's a nice W that defended the price back here. Hopefully it was. Yeah, that was a fine W. Maybe we should just zoom in. No, it made a new low. The reason I look at that is because W's like this really like to get retested. So you're most likely going to come retest this level here. So Beit has a little bit more room to go. Even the RSI has more room to move to the downside. But there is bullish divergences here on the short term. So, I mean, it's cheap. Like, I don't think I've rebought this yet. I should actually get some. I should get some here. Oh, I bought. No, this is white. For some reason, why am I thinking it's beetroot? We just looked at beetroot, right? Let's check out loan token for Seth. Hopefully he's still around on Twitter. Minus 14% on USD. So this is probably taking some punishment here versus PLS. That's a double bottom. It's still held its lows versus PLS. If it makes a new low here, it's going to have bullish divergences. It does look like it's probably going to make new lows here. But then you're going to have some bullish divergences on the daily chart. Yeah, it's probably time to watch this chart quite closely. We're probably going to have a sweep of the lows, then some higher lows. With some bullish divergences as price is going higher, yet your indicator is going lower. Yet your price action is lower while your indicator is higher. Ink killing everything, and Hans told you to sell it. No, Hans told you what Hans is doing. Hans has been selling incentive token all the way from $80, right? He's been selling it all the way from here, all the way down, okay? And I'm going to keep on selling it. I'm going to harvest $100 again pretty soon. And I'm going to sell it again for guess what? For PLS and for PLSX, which has gone up in value significantly. Now, you're welcome to do whatever you like, right? I told you when there was bullish structure on ink. I told you when there was bullish divergences literally at the bottom. Like, go look at my videos. Like, even my tweets said that something has changed here, right? At 39 cents, dude, I was showing people this bullish divergences down here. So don't be cheeky with me. All right, and there's proof of this. Go back to these dates on my Twitter, like the receipts are there, and go look at my streams. It's most likely on KTP's streams as well. So while you probably bought the top here, I've been selling this at $80 all the way up here. And you're free to do whatever you want, dude. If you want to hold this coin, that's fine. But guess what? My APR is also going up. Oh my god. But look at your name, Stressful Struggle. I don't mean to be mean. Thanks, Francisco. Greetings from Portugal. That's awesome, bro. Toad. Like, nothing that I say here is financial advice. Don't do what I do. This chart is absolutely destroyed. I mean, there's nothing exciting here. This looks scary. There's some hidden bullish divergences here, but it's not enough to reverse the price. Let's look at wrapped BTC. Look at it versus the PLS ratio. Going down, right? But there is bullish divergences forming here as indicators going higher. You can see the beautiful little W's down here. And price action still going lower. So it has a little bit more to go. But this is incredibly cheap here. Right, we're right back to where we started at pretty much. Literally right back where we started at. This is the lowest the RSI has ever been. So if you've loved it before, you should be loving it now, because... And then there's bullish divergence as price action is higher, yet the indicator is down, like massively. It's probably even on the weekly. It's just down massively. 3-day. Getting oversold on the 3-day as well. And we're right back to this range here. It's literally just come back to the W there. That's why I always say, like, W's like to get retested. It needs to hold here, frankly. It's come right back to its breakout level. Amazing. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. When I see a W, I'll get some. Because I'm still holding this. Like, I've got a lot of free positions on this coin because I've traded this, like, absolutely perfectly. Yeah, Blast has some tailwinds because it's wrapped versus PLS, right? Down on the daily, you can see bearish divergences on the chart. As price is going higher, yet your indicator is lower. This is the 4-hourly though, so shorter time frames. The daily probably hasn't printed yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles with one red in the middle there. Let's look at the wrapped pulse ratio. So no bearish divergence there. You're not getting cheap prices, right? So, I mean, the granny can't even look at this up here. Like, it's not in the reload zone, she can't look at it. Right? Well done to those guys that got it. I was sleeping, unfortunately. And yeah, maybe sell some to get your free position back, your initial investment, so that you have a free position in that. And if you're up like crazy percentages, has that sell tax still not been removed? Kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, I can't chase it up there. It's not cheap. Not cheap at all. It'll be cheap against PLS in these areas down here. I don't know if you want me to take a look at PRS, but I sold my PRS on break even when it failed to break out. I hardly ever do that, but it's worked out because I entered here, I sold like somewhere here. Very close to it, but that 5% probably got me to break even. What can we see here? Steady uptrend. I mean, I liked the chart, but it just faked me out, and I was like, oh, screw that. PLS is gonna outperform, so I sold back into PLS. I mean, it's at the area where you should be interested. I don't know if reflections tokens do have a second cycle. Don't know. Could be very, very wrong. Beetroots did. Hey Hans, do you still think we might have an extended crypto cycle until 2026, or do you think we likely top late 2024 early? So that's not an extended cycle like the 2025, like mid 2025 to late 2025 top is like the normal cycle length. An extended one will probably take you into like 2026, late 2026 maybe even. And then short one sees you topping this year. I don't know. I'm betting on a 2025 one, like we've had in the past. So you've got the 4-year cycle, you've got the halvening cycle, you've got the property cycle, all of them showing tops late 2025. Chart is awesome. The stressful struggle is I'm so happy that you're amped that the income is going up. And I'm just as glad as you that ink is going up. Itropa, duck, HOA. Let's look at Itropa. So the Itropa ecosystem is kind of struggling here, but it's good. It's giving us cheap prices versus their PLS ratios. So you need these lows to hold here. This is where value is at. Then I should be buying here. Should be stepping in here and getting some Itropa here. So look at the RSI. It's not going to feel fun. Yeah. I mean, it's very cheap here. What can you say? It's more than 90% down from its all-time highs. Even its shorter term range, it's cheap. I should really get some here. HOA. Double top situation can easily invalidate that if it wants to go a little bit higher. Versus PLS. Doesn't look like no bearish divergences there. Very high on the RSI, right? The RSI is telling you that these aren't cheap prices, right? The reload zone is down there. Looks like a blow off top versus PLS, but PLS, to be fair, is very, very strong here, right? Interesting to see. No, this is probably not going to be accurate because most of the liquidity, there's some strong liquidity back here. I mean, wait for the RSI to get nice and low, right? As low as these areas down here. I showed the bullish divergence here. I talked about the W and it's gone. What else? Yeah, what more is to say? This is the no split section. Wait for these areas down here. Ladder down your orders if you're impatient. Duck, Iosa. I think we've looked at Iosa for either rounds. What about PZN? Guys, this has been 45 minutes. Can you tell us what the term bullish and bearish divergence means? Bullish divergence is bullish. Bearish divergence is bearish. Nice to see Hex, man. Hexo Christos, what's up, dude? Stressful struggle, I wasn't making fun of you, right? Maybe I was a little bit harsh. I've made a lot of money. Good for you, dude. Yeah, I've skipped a lot of chat because I'm going to finish this live stream here now. There's probably a lot of requests that I didn't even go through here. Oh, luckily not. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. Congratulations if you've held all the way through. It wasn't easy, so no one can tell us that we were lucky. It was pretty brutal. And super congrats if you actually dollar cost averaged at the lows, right? That took some balls. So yeah, enjoy the pump. Let's see where we top out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers for now. Click the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. Play from a position of strength. Don't get wrecked. There's still a lot of time left. I'll see you guys in the